so far. It's been really, really top tier. The question is, when you're new, consistency is the hardest part in Fortnite. Consistency is the name of the game. You got to do that at least 1 or 2 more times, much like we've seen some players in the past do.
When you know what they say, when you're having fun, time flies. Game number 2 is underway here. The battle bus is going to split. It's going from south to north now. We're looking at XZ Shark, the player that got 2nd place last to Nitro just in the previous game. I mean, he took a pump to the mouth, but for good measurement, right? Because he gets some airtime now because of the big shot. Godsend's WQ is going to be on top. That's interesting. Godsend is an EU-based team as well, so that's probably Wakey, maybe. Can someone confirm in the chat? I'd love that, but another Godsend player means that more EU presence is here. The grand finals. Miro has not been on the beautiful side of the production today as he falls again in the early game, unfortunately now, as XX Shark has Industries to himself here at the start. I think it's Reet who's on the other side, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Reet versus, I can't think, who did you say it was Reet was against?
What are you talking about?
I think it was Miro, right? Was it Miro? I'm losing my mind.
Miro, yeah. Miro just went down, but it's Godsend WQ's probably
Wakey, right? It has to be Wakey.
This here should, I think it's Wakey, so we'll see.
Yeah, it has to be Wakey. Yeah, I like that. Wakey, W key. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this for sure. Nonetheless, excited to see how things break down here. It's always interesting whenever you're going up against Reet pound for pound in an early game. You got to be a little bit nervous, as we did just show on screen. We're checking out Wakey. We're now checking out Cole. Cole over here at Luton looks like for free, but Veta is just creeping on up. Cole hears it. Cole knows it. Cole's expecting it. Will we see an engagement is the question.
Yeah, 100%. I like how you use the word creeping when I'm like, yeah, that's not creeping at all. Yeah. It's the vehicle. It's so loud, and Veta has no weapon. Oh, no. He's just playing with his food at that point.
Yep.
Oh, and the L.
I think Cole baited the heck out of him right there, Monsters. Will happen for sure.
Keeping a low profile.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's what you do. You leave a chest for that bait potential. I don't know if Cole did that on purpose or what exactly the situation was there, but hey, Cole profited. And as a result of that, Cole's going to have all the loot to himself or herself. And now Cole with the perfect opportunity playing on, I think on controllers, what I saw there. We'll see if Cole can continue to roll. Meanwhile, Sprite against Icy in a mid-range engagement. Sprite's got to be careful.
This is a tough spot to fight in, guys. The Coral Castle down in the bottom of this divot. You're basically in a big old arena here, subject to shots from players up above, especially players that are coming from that old shark. You can see there is someone up there as well. Sprite's going to find himself a little bit of luck here, though. The crate that he opened had some heals. You can see that the big pot there is going to be enough to at least give him shield and the confidence to push forward. Icy, on the other hand, going up. Didn't find any of that, and he's going to get tagged 3 times. This is the green light to engage. This is the moment for Sprite now to cap off on the HP and find another 5 points. He didn't get any points in the previous game, so this goes to show this has been a fight that's been raging on for 2 games now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sprite taking out Icy, saying, hey, take a load of this refreshment, Icy. He gets a nice pick on him. And now Sprite with a good opportunity to continue. And he's a little careful, going to try and heal up. You think Sprite picked that gamer tag because he's like, you know what? I'm just going to try and manifest a sponsorship one day when I win the next World Cup, and I want the sponsorship to happen. Do you think that's what the plan is?
Big brain plays right there. He's thinking way ahead of the curve there. Proper branding off the bat. You gotta love it.
We're gonna get Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew following here momentarily.
That's it, man. They're going to have to pay the title sponsor to change his name. There you go. Even bigger brains. Polarized, though. Looking to line up the shot. Is it going to be a headshot snipe? Oh, it's a body. Okay, but that's the perfect way to engage. And yes, the shockwave to follow up. Look for the flick. Didn't get it, but instead it was piece control. He grabbed the floor and the cone before the player can even react. And Menace goes down instantly.
Polarized, looking great. I would have liked to see that headshot, make it nice and clean, of course, with the gold snipe, but instead does it the old-fashioned way. Good old shockwave straight into the control of the materials and the walls and the edits, and instead Polarized ends up on top. Very well done. Of course, helping that was hitting that body shot. Meanwhile, we got ourselves a little bit of replay. Spooky Builds gets visited by Sen Aspect, who is knocking down his walls. Scary stuff.
This is scary stuff here as Aspect's going to find to be the king of the authority now. This is somewhere we've seen him drop even in squad-based game modes as well. So he is one that is very much familiar with the drop spot. He's been kinging it for a few seasons now. And hey, lately he's been at the top of his game. A lot sharper than we've ever seen him, at least on the grand final stage. Polarized, though, looking to show that he's also one of the sharpest tools in the shed as he's battling out in Holly Hedges early game. Stark Industries, though, has Reet here. And Reet, look at the loadout, man. He's comfortable.
It's exactly right. Reach trying to show that he's an all-star and he's the sharpest tool in the shed. Shout out to any 90s kids who gets that reference. I know, Monster, you're right there with me, brother. But
Yes,
no one
sir.
else really in the chat with all these Zoomers out here. They're like, what song is that? Never heard that one before, but
You know,
Elliot
that
listens.
reminds me of the time we made a football reference on the EU broadcast. And yeah, it wasn't the right football.
That was bad
yeah.
audience. Bad audience. For sure. That's Monster Fallout stuff right there. As Polarized is going to find himself in an engagement. Gets one. Nice job from Polarized, taking out Timothy Sanchez as Polarized gets the elimination.
Gotta love someone who builds their branding around their government name there. Timothy Sanchez, GG's. That's nice.
Exactly right. Are you going to be, what's your, Javier? I forgot your last name.
Colazo.
Javier, yeah, we got it. You got one of those already. You got a Colazo as a pro player. You know, just throw the Javier in front of it and you're good.
I could just piggyback off his fame and then I'll
Yeah, exactly. Take that, rebrand. You know,
well, yeah, you guys know Colazo. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I've been doing this.
Exactly. That's like basically impersonating someone to find some success, which, you know, happens in the real world entertainment industry. Monster, you can pull it off, but you know what? I like your Monster D-Face branding. I'm impressed by it.
Oh, I'm chilling, man. Here, though, Polarized. Already 2 eliminations, and it looks like people are flocking in. We'll continue to tab in with him in a bit. Here's Lemdo versus Xtet's Av. Xtet, once again, on the losing side of the battle. Remember, we just watched him fall before this, but we also had an interview with him. He was talking about how today has been his day, and he's also switching things up coming into Grand Finals. He's going to go back to his trusty drop spot just outside of the Misty here. And I mean, it didn't work in Game 1. It almost did not work out for him there. Here into Game 2, Zlem finds a big tag and disengages.
Yeah, it could have been a little scary right there for Av, but it looks like both players are just going to respect each other, get their quick rotation through, and making their way over to Slurpy Swamp, where the shields are abundant and the hit points certainly matter. We're going to see if Lem can find himself a good drop shot, but going to get tagged up quite a bit from, I think that's actually Andalix, if I saw that correctly. So another EU player infiltrating. No, it's going to be Trash that gets the final Elam.
Yeah, that was crazy. And that is Andalix down there. MCES and 1ZR. You can see giving that proper tribute to the big boys. But either way, Trashy walks away with a free Elim. Just a couple tags there. That's the kind of damage you want to do to convert on a big Elim. Just to get those freebies as they fly by. Here's a little highlight, though. LA's Narwhal going in for a big fight. Coming in from the high ground. And this is just a highlight, so we know he's going to walk out with the big shot here successfully. It's going to be the full control. Oh, no. Making it look so easy down there.
Making him look like a pet in his cage is what we saw right there out of Narwhal over Chewy. Nice elimination picked up right there. Meanwhile, the Bloom boys, baby. I got to give some love to Bloom. You know, there's I can't remember. There's a lot of Bloom players from back in the day. Riverside was one of them. One of them started with the P. I'm blanking. Peace.
Persecute.
That's it. I love Persecute, man. That's one of the greatest few. He just retired, I believe, from competitive Fortnite. I got a lot of love for Bloom Persecute. The entire Bloom squad, Bloom fam. They were really on the come up way back when. Now, of course, look how far they've come. Member of Team Liquid is Riversand.
You definitely love to see it. I'm actually just like thoroughly impressed that I remember that name off the cuff.
Yeah.
I didn't plan to pull up Persecute's name tonight. I'll tell you that right now. But
Yeah.
Here we are.
It's exactly. This is called a Monster and Fallout special. We bring back the history books, all right? We got some knowledge on knowledge, as we got to pay some homage to the players and the story and the trajectory of these players. That's our job, right? We got to hype these players up, because at the end of the day, what's the NFL without Russell Wilson or Peyton Manning or these players? What's the NBA without LeBron James, Michael Jordan? It's all about the players. It's all about their storylines. That's our job. That's our goal, is we now have one player, it's Riversand, who's really had to work his way up from the bottom, and he's going to be on top here, on top with high ground, on top with the elimination, and on top of that player.
Yeah, it's looking like a new man right now. Riverson, this is not someone we really crown as a PvP fighter in the mid game. This is someone who will tend to take his time and honestly fizzle out, if anything, in the mid game. But it seems like he's been finding his track. He's patched up the loose ends, and now his mid game fighting seems to be pretty sharp. Well played for him. That's a major frag to set him up for success right now, as he finds 4 shockwaves. My gosh, the perfect mobility to carry yourself through.
Yeah, exactly right. I think I just saw Ant-Man in the distance there as well. As it's not just these players that are superheroes. We got some actual superheroes in the game, as we see. Actually, no, I take that back. Sorry, I was wrong. Wrong place on the map, wrong POI. As we now do have Gabe across map in the vicinity. Riversand has a great loadout. Actually, I would say great, solid loadout. Interesting decision right there on item number 2, Monster.
Hey, this weapon right here carries damage downrange. I mean, you can't sleep on it. A headshot from this far back will do some serious damage.
True.
As someone is in the air, what is this man doing? Okay, Riverson spots it. Yeah, he's like, I might as well break this down. I hope homeboy has a crash pad. It's unknown.
What's happening? Is he trolling?
What are you doing, buddy?
Is he trolling? No.
I have no idea.
That's like some season 3 Fortnite stuff right there. You just look across the map, you see someone trying to build a sky base or something, and then you just break it down and get the free inlet. What in the world against unknown army? That shouldn't happen in chapter 2, season 3. That certainly shouldn't happen. As we now we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. We got a replay here after prolonged build fight. Good guy Nani TV decides bringing down the whole building is the best idea. So couple different opportunities here for fall damage to make a difference, as we see unknown army die to fall damage just moments ago as well.
Definitely there, and I mean, it is what it is. Riverson did take that vehicle too to go pick up the goodies, so big come up for Riverson, as that puts him in a much stronger point of contention for taking at least this game too. He's got so much shockwaves and whatnot. We'll see what he can do with it. Mr. Wakey here though seems like he's run out of gasoline in the vehicle. Yeah, he's gonna have to jump out. I love that he's gonna check the base too before running up to it. This is Godsent Wakey from EU, your squad's FNCS champion, I believe. So he's been quite a decorated player. One of the few to be able to hit the pinnacle of Fortnite competitive. Wakey's up there with the best of the best. I wonder how much of a difference he has playing here in the NA region as far as his intranet difference. But it has to be not that bad. It has to be manageable for the fact that he's made it this far. Wait, as I say that, he gets hit. Ooh. Yeah, maybe not. Reaction time, not in his pocket there. He gets taken out.
Never easy playing with high ping, but so impressive that so many European players are able to come over to NA and infiltrate. And I got to say, for now, much as I am proud to be an American, EU on top as it currently stands. I'm just going to say that, as Cracked is on top of Divine right there. A little bit of a disrespect, some emotes coming through right after. I like the trash talk now. We're on board with Brutal, but look at that. Macwood in the distance. Macwood got taken out early last game. Probably regretted that. I'm excited to see if Macwood can bounce back here in games 2 through 6.
And there you guys have it here. This is a tough situation for Brutal B, and he's right underneath the Storm Surge threshold, 3 damage below. He's poised up to find some good tags, though. There's someone coming right underneath his base. I don't even think he saw him. So he's going to have to back out now. He's taking the wrong fight here. There was someone right underneath him, and instead he's going to W-key Vix. He's going to try and get in the box. We'll see if this is going to work out for him. He's going to get shot from behind now. That was the player he should have originally jumped on, but he didn't notice him, and now all of a sudden, it's looking like the end of the game for him, and it is. Brutal was at the top of the standings, and now he gets dropped by Vix, who's also at the top of the standings coming into game number 2. That's going to shake up the atmosphere.
That's why consistency is so important. You're at the top going into game 2, but you got to stay there. You got to stay consistent. Unfortunate right there. Meanwhile, looks like a bit of an engagement starting. Macwood, Thomas on screen now with Thomas. As you see some eliminations get picked up, Jelty gets one on the elimination feed.
Definitely here. Thomas is going to fall now as well. It's a simple YT. A little bit of a box fight. Fishy's lighting up the feed as well. So Fishy trying to come back here. Fishy was also in that top 10 placement as well, or somewhere towards the end game. We do know that for a fact. So Fishy cooking up too. This is someone you have to keep your eyes on, because he's consistent and he can get going once he gets rolling. Another player who just seems to just snake his way, snake his way to end game. He's always there somehow, some way.
That's exactly right. It's impressive how they manage that. Much like players like Riverson and others who just always find a way to make it to late game. Well, guess what? Another one's Zayt. He's Zayt at Dooms. Doom's domain is Zayt's domain. He gets 1 at the top left of your screen. 69 players left in this one. Zayt trying to make it to a late game. Zexro also alive of TSM, one of the longest lasting signed players, alongside Zayt with NRG and a few others. Going to find Andalix. And I got to repeat, or actually correct myself. We have a few European players. We got Andalix, we got Thomas HD, we got Wakey, and that means they're just as passionate enough to stay up till 4:30 in the morning as our Dreamhack production team is from Sweden. Bless their soul, but unfortunately for the European, Zexro takes him out.
100%. Zexro trying to do something big here. The wall's going to be grabbed. It was not his, but he does have the other, and yes, he finds Big Rig. Is this 2 games in a row now that Big Rigs, I believe, was dropped by Zexro in 2 different sections of the map, just showing you that ultimately, if you guys land in the same area, you will cross paths. It's something that you cannot avoid. Now, though, Okis looking to do something big here. Sniper, downrange on the attacks. It's not going to connect, but still, he's very much safe in the zone. you might just be thinking he's going to find someone here.
Yeah, he wants Sprite. Oh my goodness, that looked like a headshot. But don't worry, Okiss takes out his AR, gets the headshot right after. Nothing but head for Okiss. Great shots being put in so far. Sprite, unfortunately, the Sprite goes stale as Okiss gets one.
Here it is, a little bit of a slowdown now in the pacing, the mid game. It's typically how things do tend to fold, but not for Okiss here. He's the one who's getting all the action, all that lobby focus, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon as he has to make the track into the zone. As this zone closes, it is going to start ticking for 2, so he can't stay here for much longer. Lucky for him, there are some floppers here, so maybe I can eat my words for a second. He's got some plays, but not too many plays. The shockwave comes out, yes, keeps him alive for just a bit longer, and he's able to find a moment of breathing here. Continue on through. Vert looking to get another fight. It's extras, Vert. Okay, coming from underneath. He's looking to phase into the box. What is he going to be able to do here? Now, player on high ground. It's actually Riverson who's running here. Fallout.
Exactly right. Wow, Vert almost had a chance to pick out one right there. We also saw Okiss. I like that rotation. I want to quickly just point out, my mic was on mute a second ago, Monster. That's what happened. Sorry. But I did want to point out Okiss beautifully positions himself right underneath the bridge. He's going to be the troll under the bridge. Meanwhile, back on board with Vert. I just like that rotation coming through from Okiss. But Vert now puts himself in a bad spot. Vert, the West Coast player, gets taken out from Jelty. You better believe it. The Jelty train is rolling. He got sniped last game. There was nothing he could do about it. He's like, hey, that's not fair. That's not going to happen again. As Jelty's looking to bounce back alongside Bizzle and a few others in the elimination feed.
That's right. Bizzle's going to find Crypt there. Aspect finds Tax too, and Tax is the player that was sniped on the rotate from just a little bit ago. Okiss is going to run into a box. How in the world did he grab that wall? I will never know, but Class falls for a second time now. Remember, guys, this is game number 2. Class fell in the previous running so early in the feed, so Class is having a rough night tonight. If you're a Class fan, I'm gonna have to apologize for him here, because these first 2 games are looking tough.
Sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, but I always say it. You know, I always use a sports analogy. You guys hear me use sports analogies often, and now that we're in the NA broadcast, I can use football, American football analogies at least. And as always, look, if you have a bad first half, first 3 games in a Fortnite game, or the first half of a football game, or of a basketball game, you name it, and you get beat, let's just say 60-40, well, there's nothing that's stopping you from winning the second half 60-40, tying it up, and really bouncing back. Same thing's true for Fortnite. You could have a bad first few games and pop off, much like we're seeing Okiss do right now.
Okiss is making up for lost time here. That's what I like to call it. 3 eliminations now, and the game hasn't even gotten to what we call the end game. I mean, chat, for the community tuning in from home, end game to me is half in, half out. This is mid game here with 3 eliminations. That is major action for someone already here like Okiss. And I mean, his loot is showing it. 3 floppers for solos. That's prime time.
Yeah, that is, and thank goodness Okiss went and got that loot from Sprite. Speaking of Sprite, we just saw a replay from Sprite. That was before Sprite got taken out. Okiss gets that loot, gets the floppers, and that's going to make the difference. Now Zuki on board with 108 builds and 1 elimination. No, Zuki doesn't get it, as it looks like Bizzle that he's hunting. I think it was Bizzle. Bizzle's tagged up quite a bit.
Yeah, Bizzle's got no HP there. He is going to get a mini off, though. It's going to keep him with just a little bit more health and a big pot as well. You can see he's trying to work on that Zuki here. 32 points coming into this game. No eliminations this game right now. Showing you that he had a decent game number 1. Talk about decent game number 1. Skittles is someone you have to keep your eye out on. Skittles is your Ninja Battles Week 5 winner, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, he's been on something lately. Skittles really rising as a player, finding his confidence, finding his groove. And we talked about it as he jumps in onto another player now. It's Crazy GG's. He's going to shockwave on through. It's going to open it up. It's the crash pad that sets the battle, sets the tone. Can he find a follow-up shot? He's going to need it. Yes, he does. And it's a siphon to keep him alive now.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Skittles. I'm also liking how Skittles is adjusting his or her play style, as Skittles is playing so much more passive this game. And, you know, at this point last game, he had 4 or 5 eliminations. Now, 1 elimination, trying to make it to the late game because he realizes I have the lead. I just got to maintain. And the way you maintain the lead in competitive Fortnite is you consistently place. But look at this lobby. We got Marzo W, your reigning champion. We got so many players alive and well in this one. And we're going to jump on board as Zuki to start.
Big names I saw there. Zay at Dooms, who finished 99th last game, so kind of a rough start for him. But hey, he's in the end game now. He's trying to make up for his bad first run. I saw Macwood as well. I see Kanata there. I see Bully. Just a couple big names as we're glancing around here. Who Fishy, Paper in the distance, Squishy there as well. Showing you guys who Zuki here has to battle. It's an uphill battle for sure. The zone is going to land right on top of them. There's 1 second here, Fallout, and we'll see. Yes, it's going to favor the majority of the lobby, so it's actually going back right across the congested pack there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Unfortunate for Liquid Riverson, he gets taken out, but look at this. It's been a while since I've seen a Bizzle and Zate solos lobby, and I get so excited. I cannot go a broadcast for Fortnite without putting respect on their names. Two of the most winningest players, two of the best players since the very beginning. They've stayed on top, and guess what? Speaking of being on top, Zate's one of the best in the world to do it. Not only does he play well, but he always holds high ground late games. That is the one consistent thing that no matter what has changed with Fortnite meta, the one thing that has not changed is the importance of high ground in late game. And yeah, last season, it was really ridiculous because you could just use a shockwave launcher or glider gun to get to high ground. Well, now you got to earn it. Zate always finds himself to be the one that does.
As you say, earn it. Like, you got to also keep this in mind. The Doom's Spirit Bomb is not active right now in this current game either. So it just kind of shows you that, yes, high ground is a big risk. High ground is tougher to hold, especially when there's someone like Zate who lands at Doom's domain and quite literally has a strategy built around those mystical weapons, one of which is not in this run right now. Commandment, though, you have to believe he's going to find the purple shot right now as things get all caught up. He was 12 below before. Now he's 146 above. The big shot is going to fully conclude. And now he has to bounce her up. This is a tough spot to be in because he doesn't have the builds, but he's going to find some Fallout. He finds what he needs. Can he get back, though, is the question. No, he needs another siphon. Someone he gets the siphon and the bouncer to stay in the running. My gosh, Commandment, let's go.
And still alive. Needed that siphon. Prayed to the Fortnite gods and got it. Commandment not done yet. I am so impressed by this player and his performance as it currently stands, but 43 HP total to name. Needs to be careful. Wants the siphon. Still hunting like he has 200 effective HP. He's got to be really, really cautious here.
Doing a great job leaning around the outside. Slacks is here on his right. Can he find Slacks too? He's going to sit inside the cone. Tries to get the 10 seconds off. Realize he does not have a full 10. Has to cancel it. This is all about decision-making now. He has no builds, and he's in that mid-ground pack. You have to believe everyone up here is probably super healthy. You got to get down to the low. Maybe not, though. Someone's to his left here. It's Jack. Jack actually falls, unfortunately, to the storm line there. Could have been a freebie. In comes the boost. Commandment's looking for Joji. Joji's on the run. He's still going.
How is Commandment still alive? No builds? Nothing? Oh my goodness, catch for 120. I was about to lose my mind if Justice got taken out by Commandment right there. With 0 builds and no HP basically to his name, Commandment makes it far. But guess what? Furious is making it far. Justice is looking to get avenged. At least Commandment's looking to get avenged. Commandment's looking to get avenged after taking out Justice. Getting taken out by Justice is now it's going to be Furious that takes them out.
There it is. When Furious gets going, he sees red. He's like a bull with big horns. He's here to chase him down. Gonzo on height now, looking to battle his way down as well. Gonzo's going to get tagged. Looking to see if he can rechange. Yes, he is going to get the big exchange. It's on to Zate. Zate gets scratched out of the height, and Furious finds another one into low ground. Fallout. This is looking like Furious's game right now in the low, as he has a lot of players to battle. But on the other perspective, Gonzo has a little bit of that mid ground. How's it going to play out? Gonzo's going to find one. It's a back and forth. It's a tit for tat here.
That's exactly right, with Zuki on top. So tit for tat for everyone else. But Zuki says, you know what? I'm okay with this high ground. I wonder if he ran out of mats or what, but guess what? It's going to be a crazy finish. Guess what? Reet's alive. Zuki gets taken out. Furious with high ground as it currently stands. Barely high ground. Reet so incredibly tagged up. It's going to be a crazy finish here, Monster. Reet gets eliminated. Furious on top as it currently stands. Can he hold it?
Oh, and Gonzo finds another one low ground. No one has builds. That's why it looks like such a scrappy fight. Furious finds the siphon that he needs. Gonzo's going to heal up too. How's it going to go? Furious is going to find a follow-up. No, it's not. Gonzo gets deleted out of the game. And now it's a 1v1 situation. Shots are going to exchange between the two. 4 elims. Furious goes up on the bouncer and the follow-up. Bye-bye, Okiss.
That was disgusting. The bounce pad play catches Okiss off guard right to Okiss's back. What a play that was. Furious gets a win in game number 2. We're going to jump to a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be ready to break it all down.